The quality of life on Valorant has overall been very positive. The game is frequently updated, it's fun and free to play, content is frequently added. For the most part, besides a few bumps in the road, every collection that's come out has had an overwhelmingly positive reaction, and, at the very least, had one or two items that were desired. And with skin collections like Glitch Pop and Prime being so popular that both of them received a second edition, it's left Valorant's community wanting even more. If you have a favorite skin collection, chances are there's a market for a second one to come out. And with the ultra success of all four collections of the Glitch Pop and Prime sets, the recently added Infantry bundle is no different. In my previous video, I did a complete breakdown and analysis of all the skins, the animations, and everything that exactly makes the Infantry collection what it is, which is World War II period-based content that's affordable and asynchronous, compared to the general futuristic and fantasy-style weapons that are released in this game. And despite a recent poll I did having 87% of the users saying that they would rather save their money, history enthusiasts and war enthusiasts loved what they got from the Infantry collection. And some loved it so much that they rallied to have an Infantry 2.0 added to the game at a certain point. While a lot of game developers choose to stay silent and do everything that they can to not interact with their community and their consumers, whether it be to avoid criticism or simply to draw the line between them and their player base, Riot has taken a more contemporary stance and will frequently interact with their community on basically anywhere where the development team for Valorant has accounts. While privacy and maintaining a level of respect is important, Riot has given the Valorant community a happy median, where they're very responsive to both criticism and praise, and try to listen to us so they can take a direction for what the game needs and what people want. In the photo I showed you earlier, this Reddit user's post had 1,700 upvotes, asking Riot if there could be an Infantry 2.0 that included an AK-47, as well as other older weapons like the PPSH, and, oddly enough, the art lead at Riot Games, who handles the premium content on Valorant, Sean Morito, said this: "Honestly, we didn't think of this and I love the idea. I saw someone comment on Twitter or YouTube that Infantry could be a line that progresses throughout different periods of warfare instead of just doing more within World War I or II. It gives us a lot of options." Smiley face. And basically, to break down this interaction, in my review of the Infantry collection, one of the biggest cons of buying the Infantry collection is that it didn't come with a Vandal or a Phantom. And basically all of the weapons that it did come with are weapons that wouldn't be so frequently used. And the lead developer of all the skins that come out literally had a reply for it saying that it was a great idea and that he was on board with it and loved it. That's kind of crazy to think about. When people were upset about the Karambit coming out for Prime 2.0 and disapproved of its upgraded animation, we got a concrete answer from another developer that said that an option to toggle the animations on and off was going to for sure be coming to the game by the end of 2021. And with this response, while I don't think it's so concrete, it would be a safe bet to assume that a second edition of the Infantry is coming. While a release date hasn't been said and it may not be coming anytime soon, this response says to me that it will still be coming regardless. And that's actually some really exciting news. So when the next Infantry collection does come out, it'll be pretty exciting to see what they do, and exactly the direction that they take. If they were to add in a PPSH, that leads me to believe that it would also be World War II themed. They would have to add in more weapons that followed suit with that. So the Sheriff would probably get a 357 Magnum skin. Users left me comments on my videos saying that it'd be really cool if there was a bayonet or even a shovel melee weapon. Perhaps to replace the classic, a 1911 pistol. A really obvious one being the Browning, to replace the Odin. And if it is going to be World War II themed, the AK-47 wasn't used in World War II, so they would have to figure out something to use. Off the top of my head, I can think of maybe the bar or some variant of other period weapons. And moving forward with the conversation, I think that the concept of having progressing war periods and their weapons being added into the game is an awesome idea. I don't think that it should be strictly towards World War II. An underrated game and one of my personal favorite games ever is called Rising Storm 2. That's a game about the Vietnam War. And in that game, along with the beautiful imagery and picture-perfect accuracy according to the time, there's incredibly specific, accurate to the time, weapons that were used by both the Viet Cong and by the Americans. And if they went this route and did want it to be a Vietnam War-based theme, in that instance, you could very well add an AK-47 to the game, or its successor, the AKM. And it would just be exciting to see things like that, or the M16, the M3A1, an M60, a trench gun, a DP-28 machine gun, a more classic-looking sawed-off shotgun, a Dragunov, and whatever else. And this sort of concept can be applied to anything that's happened in real life. And what makes the Infantry set so unique in its own right is the fact that it is based on reality. And to this date, the Infantry collection is one of the cheaper sets that has come out. While the average price for skins on Valorant is generally $70 to $90, close to $100, this coming out, being a solid skin set, having a lot of charm to it, like the M1 Garand ping, is pretty huge. And I think it's a great example of Valorant having the ability to make something that is affordable and cool. In the past, cheaper skin bundles that have come out have not been nearly as cool as this. let alone as detailed. While most lower tier skins will just be different colors and variations of textures, the infantry skin is a unique, highly detailed, and specific set. It doesn't just paint over the guns that we know and love. It gives them new life and new meaning, with new moving parts, a new feel, and a hint of reality to be added in to boot. While I think it's ridiculous to say that this is the best skin set in the game, and that every skin that comes out from here on out should be something that's more realistic, it is still refreshing to be in the game regardless. And moving forward, I am excited to see the futuristic skins and the fantasy-based skins that come out. I'm excited to see the second editions of skins that we love, like the Reaver and the Ion and the Oni. I'm excited to see what direction they'll take everything. And even just with the pricing of the infantry collection, the fact that the Guardian had its own unique sound and you didn't have to pay money for Radianite points was truly awesome. Sometimes it feels like Valorant will charge you for anything. And while it's my personal opinion that Radianite points should not cost money and should be a lot easier to get, the infantry coming out and being $30 was interesting to see. It makes me hope for a better future. They had the ability to release a cheap skin bundle. And looking forward to the future, I hope to see that the more exclusive editions and ultra edition skin sets that come out can also be slightly cheaper. Obviously, everybody wants everything to cost less money, and that would be good, especially in the current year that we're in. But with that being said, I'm going to pass it off to you guys. What do you guys think? What weapons would you like to see in the Infantry 2? If you made it this far into the video, leave a comment and say Infantry 2. I'll know that you've made it this far. And just to ramble on a little bit and kill some time, I worked incredibly hard on my buy or save video for my upcoming series about the skin sets and me buying all of them and telling you whether or not you should, and giving you detailed analysis and facts before making the final opinion. And I was sad to see that this underperformed quite a bit. 97% of my views are from people who aren't subscribed to me. So if you'd like to change that, subscribe. However, I was frustrated because I worked very hard on that video, I worked very hard on the thumbnail for that video, and unfortunately it just didn't catch. I would appreciate it if you went and checked it out. I promise that if you watch it, you'll leave the video with new knowledge about that skin set that came out, and stuff that you didn't know prior. And truth be told, the thumbnail of this video could very well get this video a lot of views. And I thought the last video's thumbnail was very nice, and if this is what it takes to get views, I'm perfectly willing to go down to somebody else's level to do it. It's not a negative connotation, it's just the way that it is. This time around for what I'm doing on YouTube, I'm extraordinarily happy with all of it. I love Valorant and I love making content on it. I feel like I'm always learning stuff about the game, and I feel like there's a lot of good things that happen just fun-wise in the game. And I'm always excited to share it with you. And while YouTube is a grind for me, my sole purpose of making Valorant content is to make fun, engaging content in Valorant about things that I'm learning about and things that I care about, and to also share the fun that I have on Valorant with everybody else. I want people to walk away from my videos happy or with more knowledge, or both. In a world where classic Coke is #1, standing out can be hard, and sometimes being like the rest of them can be a little bit easier. So I hope you can understand why the thumbnail is what it is. If you enjoyed the video and learned something new, please leave a like. It helps me out a lot, and I would really appreciate it. And if you're new here, subscribe. I try to do weekly videos. As always, I'm Justin, and you're not. I'll see you in the next one.